Hey, it's Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the debt that's being sold by portfolio companies who buy them from original creditors and sell them to debt collector, third-party debt collection companies, or and then sometimes those third-party debt collectors sell them to other third-party debt collectors that go after people. I'm going to talk about some of these portfolios that are being sold. We have them from, as you can see here, credit card companies, payday loan companies. What is one up? The one up top is like the liposuction and I think they do some plastic surgery, body type stuff, and NSF fees, finance services. I mean, this one here is just loaded, and I'm gonna go over what you'll need to do, the solution if you end up getting one of these, because there's two ways out of it, and some of them is by statute of limitations, some of them is not. But before I even get to that, I just want to go back to a little bit about what had happened with us last week. Some of our links are not active yet because they got to come back online. The website had to go through a cleaning process, and someone, Anthony, one of my very good famous subscribers, made a comment, and it was a very good comment, and it made me think for a moment. And he said that being a nice sized company that we are, that he would have thought we would have had an IT person, on staff for all of that. And we have a company that we outsource it to. We don't have a person right on staff. But when I thought deeply about what he said, and I want to just tell you what I went through the process. So if you have a business and something like this happens to you, or even on your personal computer, because this is a virus attack. Yes, it stops business, but if you have it on your personal computer, that could upset you, or on your cell phone. They're coming up with ways to get them on people's cell phones now. And let me tell you this is a few things that I learned through this whole process, because I was kind of like what Anthony was thinking was, this company failed me. But after sitting down and evaluating everything, if you really think about this, companies are not getting the same virus all the time. They make new viruses. They figure out new ways to get in and to infect companies' servers so they can get to whatever they're trying to do. In my eyes, it's stealing. That's what I look at it as. Like they're just, in our case, they were trying to get our traffic. They know a lot of people go to my website. It's one of the highest views website in the United States. It's under the 100,000. So just think of all the millions of websites in the United States. It's in the hundreds of thousands. That is in the ranking level. And so they wanted to get my traffic, the people that came to it, and then they redirected to another one. But this is something that I learned, is that big companies get hacked. And we see that, and it's not because they're not watching out for it. It's just that there's different ways that they come in. So basically what these companies are doing is that they're just, once one company figures out how they got in, they pass it along to all of the other companies that are in this business, and then they know which ones to protect your company with. Now, this is only my opinion. This is my opinion. Remember also, the week before, the Amazon servers totally went down, and then they came back up slowly, and different websites and Netflix and there were all types of huge companies that were affected with this. But if y'all know that I'm a Star Trek fan. Everyone that's in my office, you saw the Star Trek ship behind me when I make my videos. There's a movie, it was Star Trek Insurrection. You should watch this, because something happened in that movie that I relate what happened with Amazon servers, because this is what happened. Now, listen to me closely. In the movie, what happened was uh, there was a ship where they were trying to, fight the Enterprise, in short. And then what the Enterprise team did is they uh, had some type of a way of putting them into a hologram. They didn't know it though. So like a light switched, like it was like it went dark and then came back up. It did. Some people would think it was a power surge, and then they were right back where they were. But they really wasn't where they were. They were in a hologram. They were not on their ship. What I'm thinking happened with Amazon is that when it came down and it came back up, some websites were not where they were supposed to be. Because especially with my website, people were going to my website and it would just flip over to another, going redirected to a website in Canada. In Canada, it was doing that. Like, it was unbelievable. And I was talking to the team, like, how are they doing this? They were like, well, we don't know exactly how they're doing it, but we know what the injections are, and we're going to clean that out and get that out and protect you against those specific types of injections, which they have done. My personal my personal opinion on this is that Amazon was hacked. Big $1 trillion Amazon, Anthony, this for you also. Big $1 trillion Amazon company was hacked. And if you think about it, we didn't learn about the Experian hack until a year later. We didn't learn about the Equifax hack until a year later. We didn't learn about, I think it was one with Saks Fifth. We didn't learn about the Verizon. Well, think of all the different companies where we didn't know. And then all of a sudden they tell us and they admit that it was a hack. Now let me throw in something that maybe even bring my case more to the forefront. My wife is a huge Amazon user, and she uses one of our American Express cards on Amazon. And guess what happened last week, Tuesday? Someone tried to buy $100 worth of stuff from Starbucks. She got an alert and it said, are you trying to buy $100 worth of stuff from Starbucks online? My wife does not like Starbucks. My wife does not like Starbucks coffee, but she does like and love those Starbucks Frosty the Snowman cookies. I came home the other day, she had 6 packs of those. I'm like, you love these cookies, don't you? But she does not like the coffee, and she would not have ordered it online. She does, only places that she uses that card is with vendors for our storefront store, and there was no issues with none of those. And also, they're not held online with those. It goes through a different type of processing with those types of orders. But Amazon, which we know had something go down, the card was there, and so they made her have to change out her card. So that's my little tidbit on that. I just wanted to talk about that. Now let's get to the debt. Right here we got a portfolio from, this is that Lifestyle Lift company. I haven't seen them advertising that much lately, maybe because people haven't been paying them. When these companies do financing, and if they get too many people that don't pay the finance company back, they will turn off their account. So you have $1.8 million, $1.8 million, 500 accounts. Man, that's a lot of money. Average charge-off date is 2012. Average balance is $3,600. Here's another one. This is payday loan. We don't even have to really, you can see that. Let's just talk about the big ones. We got mixed. This is mixed retail. When it says here mixed retail, $4.6 million, 2,753 accounts. Average charge-off date 2006. Well, way back. I'm going to tell you what to do with these. Average balance 1,682. Here's another group here. Says mixed DIV. This is going to be mixed credit cards. $30 million, 4,600 accounts. Average charge-off date 2008. Average balance $6,400. Here's another group. 26.3 million, 6,939 accounts. Average charge-off date 2009. 3,700 average. Mixed lenders 1.7 million, 357. Charge-off date 2010. 5,000 average. When I see these here, these could be potentially when I see those types, could be auto loans potentially, or could be lines of credit. Let's go these two here. 2.7 million, 2.9 million. Mixed retail. That could be like department stores where they ask you, do you want to sign up and get their card? 745 on that one, 645 on that one. Both of them charge off date 2009, 3,700 on the one average balance, and 45 average balance on those. Let's skip down. This is a payday loan company. You can see small portfolio. 2.3 million, 484 accounts. And I'm just skipping over them because of the big number. It doesn't matter. None of you are facing $1 million account, but I just skip over those just to yell out the big numbers here. 484 accounts, 2010 charge-off date 4,900. You can see here HSBC. Haven't even heard much about them. These are obviously going to be lines of credit. Here's another mix, 5.7 million. You can see the charge-off dates on those. 1.3, 1.2, skipping down, 1.3, 1.5, $59 million on this one, 12,000 accounts, 2009 on that, 4,500. We got another 20 million here, 3,900 accounts, 2007 charge off. Let's just move down. You can see these are different installment type loans. There's another one, mixed accounts, usually mixed credit cards, 16 million, 5,600 accounts, 2010. Skip down some more installments. You can type in, you probably know who these companies are, and these Crest Financial on those. Let's see here, 24 million, 86 million on that one. 24 million, 86 million. Let's see here. Man, this is a long one. Charge off date 09, 07. You see the balances there. 1.4 million. Look at here's payday loan, Ace NSF fees. These are people who wrote checks to Ace Hardware right there. Look at that. A lot of people writing hot checks to Ace Hardware, a local finance company. $10,000. They gave up on collecting those. Let's see here. Mixed credit, 6.2, 29 million. These charge-off dates all past legal statute of limitations except for one state. We're going to flip through also and look at the statute of limitations too. Let's look at these groups here. I just said 29 million. Here go the companies. Another mix, 2.5, 9.2. 2012, 2011, 29 on the 7 million. Let's go here. 28 million, 2008, 17 million, 19,000 accounts. 2010, 49 million, 3,200 accounts. 2008, 20 million. So you can see this is a lot of portfolios that's going to be for sale. Let's move over to the statute of limitations real quick. All right, I'm sorry I don't have this wide view on here because that happened because when I was in the email, I can't, if I widen it, you won't be able to see it fully. So let's just go here. I'm going to show you how to search. If it doesn't pop up when you search, send me an email. Send me in the comment section, and I'll take a look and see how to fix, what's going on with that. I'll take a look and see what's going on with that link, because when we did the backup file, some of my newer stuff was not backed up from the backup date that I chose. That was some decision I made, not from what the company had advised. I had said that I want to back up way back just in case they had been doing stuff before. So type in statute, and hold on, let's get to that page. Go. For some reason with the video screen, the search bar would not work, so I had to pause it. So let's look at it here. I'm going to tell you the solution, and I want you to just take a look at some of these, because this can also help you for your situation if you get a letter from one of these debt collectors. So first thing they're going to do, they're going to send you a letter saying that you owe a debt. They're going to have the original creditor on there. They're going to, at the bottom or somewhere in that letter, they're going to say you have the right within 30 days to dispute any part or all of the debt. And so the first thing that you do is you look at who did you have a debt with, and then you go to your credit reports. Not the free one. The free one is not going to help you with this. And also all of the companies that report to credit, all of them don't report to all three. So you need all three. This is going to save you money. And you need to get your reports and, have a paid monitoring service, because that's going to allow you to know if something is going on with your credit. Why fix it? Why go through all of that and have someone be able to tear it up without you even knowing it, or you find out about it later? You can click right here on my website. Go to www.your3scores.com, and you can grab all three credit reports, because what you're going to do next when you get those credit reports, or if you already have them, look in the comments section of the original creditor. It doesn't matter about the debt collector, just in case they already got it on there because you disregarded the first letter they sent you. But you look in the comments, and in those comments, it will tell you when the charge-off date was. When that charge-off date goes is when the clock starts to tick. Now, when we were just going through all of those portfolios, it was saying charge-off date 2009, 2010, 2015, 16. It was all over the place. Look at the statute of limitations by state. It's different for every state. I wish it was the same, or, states make their own rules on this. Look at this. So, right here. Also, a lot of companies incorporate in Delaware, and they always had that protection. But this is also probably one of the reasons, is that they got the 3-year statute of limitations on that. So once you look at the charge-off date, that's when the clock starts ticking for the statute of limitations clock to start ticking, or the time-barred clock to start ticking, because they'll use those words too. For open-end accounts like credit cards, the ones that you can charge and charge again is going to be in this column number 4. For written contracts, it's going to be right here, and oral contracts here, promissory notes right there. So for like a repossession or something, it's going to be in this column. So you can see here, if we start with Alabama, for a written contract, they say if you shake hands with somebody, you got 6 years. If you shake hands, but it's probably because it's a rural state, but you shake hands, you got 6 years instead of 3 years on. But if you write it down with that same person that you could have shook hands with, you're only going to have to worry about 3 years if you default. But if you don't, you're going to be 6 years. And then if it's a credit card, you got 3 years. So if the debt is passed If from the charge off date to whatever today's date is, for whatever account you have, if it's past 3 years, you do not have to do any type of debt validation. You don't have to talk about the amounts. You don't have to talk about working out a deal. You don't have to talk about anything other than notifying them that you know that they are coming after you for a debt that they cannot legally collect, and that you will report them if they don't cease all collection activities. Don't worry about it. I give you that letter below this video. There's a link to get those letters. I'll talk about that in a minute. So if it's past the legal statute of limitations, you do not have to talk about any part of any amount of the debt, because they will try to flip it around on you. You don't have to worry about that. But let's just comb through here before we get into the rest of it about the solutions. You can see here some of the bigger states that have a longer statute of limitations. Illinois, 10 years, 5, 10, 5, or 10. And I don't even know what they mean by 5 or 10. So if it is 5 years, I would challenge and send that statute of limitations letter and make them show you law that categorizes their open-end credit card account to go past 5 years. Indiana, 10 years, 6 years on credit cards. Iowa, 10 years, 10 years. Let's go to, all of these are kind of medium, medium, 6, 6, 3s, some 5s, some 4s. But let's go and chat with our friend right here. Our good old buddy, Kentucky. Kentucky says you can't do nothing for 15 years. So you can have a debt. And we just talked about those portfolios. I'm going to flip over to that real quick. And we can see here 2012, 2008, 19, 16, 14, 10, 9, 8, 13. There's only in this whole portfolio, if someone lives in the state of Kentucky, if someone buys this debt and you live in the state of Kentucky, this debt would not be past the legal statute of limitations to collect. Any of these portfolios, none of them. Just with my skimming through. This is close, 2007, but none of them. This is close. None of them. All right, let's go back to that screen. And so you can see here in where you got how these states, especially with Kentucky, you're going to have, you got this right here, 5 or 5 to 15. So I guess the leadership in Kentucky feel that for someone, a long period of someone's life, no matter what, they can't have any time bar debt for at least a minimum of 15 years. That's crazy. All right, so let's move over and talk about what to do. So the first thing I want you to do, you go to my website. The link is below, and I've fixed both links. Both links are actually going to go to the same page. They look the same. Just to that's not the right one there. Hold on one second. So you go and you type. Let's see if we can get it to work. Yep, let's see what we got here. Okay, yeah, so I fixed the page. They're both going to look like this. The link may be different, but it's really going to the same thing. So what you do is you just fill in here. You're going to get all 3 letters. I updated it right here. You're going to get all 3 letters. The first one is statute of limitations letter. You don't, you're not going to use all 3. If it's past the legal statute of limitations to collect or past the time barred date timeline to collect, then you just deal with the statute of limitations letter. Fill in your email, fill in your name, email, click here. It's going to redirect you right to it, or you can wait for the email and it's going to send it to you, a link in the email. You click it, it will download. You got to have Windows Word document or some type of Word document to be able to make changes to it, because you're going to have to put some information in there. And that's on the sheet that you got or from your credit reports. So that's what you're going to do on those. So now let's talk about the other two letters. If it's not past the legal statute of limitations to collect, they can still attempt to try to collect the debt, and it's going to be a back and forth fight between you and them. And so I give you two letters to help with that. The second letter is a cease and desist collection activities letter, and this letter specifically has some things, some points in there that will make them think twice about coming after you for the debt. Because if they don't have everything and they know that you're going to respond, especially when you respond with this letter, they're going to say, this might not be the average person who owes us this debt. Maybe we should just deal with everyone that didn't respond. Let's throw this one off to the side, maybe sell it to another debt collector. But just in case they decide to continue, then you're going to respond to their responses from your cease and desist collection activities letter. And then I want you to incorporate the debt validation letter in there. The debt validation is incorporated already with the cease and desist, but if it gets to go with a back and forth, all you do is you respond, but I give you that debt validation to kind of guide you on what you're going to be asking for. Then it's just going to be a back and forth. What I usually see with these when it gets into the back and forth is that they don't move forward with trying to sue you, which is the big thing. And then you can move with their information that they can't prove to get that off of your credit reports. Sometimes they're just going to keep messing with you because they want you to quit. You know, most people will not do the back and forth because you're busy living your life. Their life is their business. Their life is the debt collection business other than their own personal life. They go to work every day trying to figure out how to collect on bad debt. So they're going to be more aggressive. They're going to do more. They have people that work in their offices to do it. Everything. So what you should do is go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, and then you can either search it this way. All you have to do is search with this here, or you can simply go to the bottom, click the link about how to stop debt collectors from coming after you. This stuff really does work. I don't give the letter just straight up to anyone because we have spy debt collection companies right here on here trying to figure out ways to get around my letter. Before I close out the video, let me tell you one way that they try to do it. And this was with the court summons, because we have a court summons response service also. What they did is, because one part of our summons response is when they buy those big portfolio packages, they just get partial account numbers and your name, and then they get your address and all that stuff. They can do what's called a batch, and they can get all of your information sent with that portfolio, but they really don't have that information signed off by the original creditor. Original creditor does not want to be involved in the game of doing that. So what we do is we say, when they buy those big debt portfolios, yeah, it might have had your name on there. Yeah, it might have had the last 4 digits of your account. But what we do is we had said in the court responses, and this made a lot of the debt collectors dismiss their cases, is that we said, give us a document that from the company, first we said, give us a document that shows that this debt that someone from that company signed off that that you bought my specific debt, my name, my complete account number. I want to see that. So what they started doing to kind of counteract that, and it caught me off guard at the beginning when I saw it, is that they put an affidavit in there, and it had the person's name, the original creditor, and the amount, and they still didn't get the complete account number, but they had the last four. And I was like, man, they counteracted on that. They made a counteraction. But they really didn't. What was crazy is that they actually made their own document, and they had someone from their office sign saying that, yes, we looked at the paperwork and it had their name and their account number on there. So it was not from the original creditor. It was not from the original creditor, but they tried to do a fake out on that. They tried to do a fake out on that. And we called it. We called it. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to end the video here. I really appreciate everyone watching. I really appreciate everything. I appreciate being here. I appreciate being able to talk to you. I don't care if it's just one person. If you help one, that one person can help another, and those two people can help one other each. So we've all together helped, 5 people, 6 people? I don't know. So next thing I want to do is I want to tell you, if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, because that's the way we're going to do it. We're not going to do it no other way. We go at the furnishers, we go at the for the bureaus, and we go at the furnishers. So you're not just having us fight with the bureaus, we're fighting with the furnishers on the way that they place that negative information on your credit reports. Yes, it could be true, but it could be inaccurate by the way it's placed on there, and you have a right to have it on there 100% accurate. Next thing, if you don't have your credit reports, go to the website www.your3scores.com. Get the credit reports. Also, it helps me monetize my time being here with you. So go get them, and if you decide to work with us, that imports right into the software that we use to store your information and to do all the work for you. And again, if you need help with a summons response, the link is below this video. If you need my 3-pack of letters, cease and desist, statute of limitations, and the debt validation, those links are below here. Thank you again. Happy holidays if you're watching it before the holidays. If you're watching this video after the holidays, well, happy next holidays. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you for your time. Make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you post your comments, share, and ask your questions.